Welcome to another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous, coming to you 6 days a week as we interview whitetail experts and hear their traditions and personal stories of the hunt. Learn more about the latest gear, discover proven tips, and the latest strategies so you can make your next hunt a success. Now, here's your host, Bruce Hutchin.
Welcome to another episode of Gear Wednesday with Bruce Hutchin, host of Whitetail Rendezvous. And we're heading down to the Prescott, Arizona area. We're going to talk to Big Chino. Who's Big Chino? Well, he runs Big Chino Outfitting. Is that right, JP?
Yeah, that's right. Big Chino Outfitters out of Prescott, Arizona. That's correct.
And let's see. Vicente, is that how you say your last name?
Yeah, JP Vicente, actually. Yeah.
And so, JP, I'm just going to go with JP, folks. And we connected on Instagram, and he started talking to me about the biggest secret in the West is Arizona and the opportunities to get tags. And I know all your listeners, you talk to me all the time when I see you in the fall or at shows, and you say, man, I want to hunt the West too. I want to go for some elk. And, gee, it's so expensive. It's this, it's that. And how do you do it? And I tell you about Go Hunt. There's a free shout out for Lorenzo and the crew there. But I wanted JP to come on the show to just have somebody that's lived his life in Arizona, and this is what he's done. And he does it really well, folks. And he might mention some people's names, and that's great. But he allows people to come and have an experience that maybe it could be once in a lifetime, but maybe once in an experience, they go, well, gee, I can do this every couple of years. I can do this every year. And so I wanted JP to come on and talk about the biggest secret in the West. JP, let's roll.
Yeah, first of all, I do want to shout out to Go Hunt, too. I work hand in hand with Go Hunt, so Chris and Lorenzo and the crew over there, Brady Miller, all those guys, phenomenal outfit. And, and I'll start off by saying this, is that people anywhere in this country want to find out about great hunting opportunities, they need to join Go Hunt. That outfit has really done some phenomenal stuff. So my shout out to Go Hunt. Thanks for everything you guys do and support us. And we've been doing business with them and using them as an avenue to get information out about what we do here at Big Chino Outfitters in Arizona. So thank you for having me on the show. Actually, we're honored and humbled that we'd have the opportunity. Really what my goal is here is just to get some information out, because it just appears that people from all over the country, if they're not, especially whitetail hunters from the East and Midwest, if you're not necessarily in Arizona, you don't really realize that there's some incredible hunting opportunities. And the myth out there is that it takes 20 years to get a tag in Arizona for an elk, an antelope, a mule deer, and obviously a lifetime to get a sheep tag or something. But there's some really incredible hunting opportunities. So I want to talk about those. And the first thing I want to talk about is what I consider the biggest secret in the West. And the word's getting out. Over-the-counter archery mule deer hunting and Coues deer. So you can hunt Coues deer or mule deer. In Arizona, you're only allowed to kill one deer per calendar year. So from January 31st to December 31st, you can only kill one deer. So if you shot a Coues deer, then you can't come back and shoot a mule deer. If you shot a mule deer, you can't come back and shoot a Coues deer. Bottom line here is that you have this opportunity to come out and hunt these deer. That's the archery over-the-counter tag. Now, here's what's really cool about that.
No, wait a minute. That's over-the-counter. No
Guaranteed
draw.
Tag. No draw.
That I show up with my money. I walk into Walmart and get a tag.
That's exactly how it works.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't have to draw. So everybody thinks you got to wait 20 plus years to get a tag, when the reality of it is you do not. You can walk into Walmart or Game and Fish or Cabela's, and you can get yourself a tag and you can hunt. Now, here's the other thing that's cool about it. So if you were to buy an over-the-counter tag, let's say you came January 1, which is the peak of our rut, by the way. Think about it, hunting running bucks in Arizona. It's 60 degrees out, 65 degrees out, and you got these phenomenal bucks out there rutting does, But if you came out and hunted, you bought that tag, and you did not harvest the deer, either Coues deer or mule, that hunt's open for the entire month of January. You can turn around and come back and use that tag in August. So around August this year, like August 23rd, it opens through September 12th. So you got the velveted bucks, the summer bucks. A lot of people like to hunt bucks in the velvet, a lot more docile, etc. You could use that tag then, but here we go again. Let's say you don't harvest one then. You can turn around and hunt that tag again in December, because the hunt opens back up around mid-December till December 31st. This is archery only, okay? That's the only thing that's going to be over the counter for deer. Archery only. But in today's world, there's so many archers, there's so much technology out there, and the hunting opportunities are phenomenal. So we got guys coming out here, they're hunting 170-inch caliber average bucks or what they're hunting. We harvest 180 to 200-inch mule deer every year. Our biggest buck ever killed was 2 years ago, 223 inches.
Now, what about up on the strip? You mean I can hunt archery on the strip?
Cannot hunt on the strip archery unless you draw. That's what I was going to get at. Everything south of the ditch. So the Kaibab, 12B, or the Arizona Strip, that's draw only. Everything south of the Grand Canyon, there's open opportunities for over the counter. And you have to look at the reds because some areas are open for 2 weeks, some are open for a month, some are open for the entire season. So we can certainly help you with that. But just think about this. What separates us from the strip? As a crow flies from where our camps are set up, our ranch leases are set up, that's about 100 miles as a crow flies. The only thing that really separates us is a little bit of terrain and the Grand Canyon.
Well, you have that big hole in the ground.
Yeah, but is that going to stop mule deer? Absolutely not. And honestly, I can show you videos, phone scope videos, pictures, bucks that we've killed, 180, 200. Like I said, we killed one buck's 223. I mean, the caliber of bucks are there. On average, the hunters can expect to hunt 170-inch caliber deer.
No, are you hunting private or public land?
We're hunting both public and private. I have about 140,000 acres of leased land that have the hunting leases on it, but there's millions of acres of public. And so you can hunt public or private. The difference is there's controlled pressure on private versus uncontrolled pressure on public. You never know what you're going to face in the public. And, it's become a very, very, very popular hunt. So you're starting to see a lot more public land pressure. So again, a lot of questions get asked me, are the bucks better on the private than they are on the public? I'm going to tell you collectively across the board, no. But where are the bucks going to go if they get a lot of pressure? They're going to go.
Well, during the rut, they're going to go where the does are.
Exactly.
Period.
But you're 100% right, and that's a great statement to make because wherever the does are where the bucks are going to go. But when deer get pressure from the public, and a lot of people start pressuring them, they're going to move to spots where they're not going to be pressured.
Right. They're going to go to sanctuaries.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to go to the sanctuary, and that's where the private comes in. Even though we have resident herds of bucks and deer on there, and we got great deer, great hunting opportunities on our private, but we don't have to hunt the private. Some guys like it because they don't like the hunt pressure. Some guys would rather hunt on the public because they can't afford or don't want to spend the extra money. We try to make the hunts affordable. We have hunt scouting packages for do-it-yourself, all the way to fully guided hunts, sustained in hunting lodges. Just all depends on what the hunters are looking for, and that's what our intent is. But the message I want to get out is I want people to know that you don't have to wait 20 years to come here and hunt great mule deer or great Coues deer bucks. You can buy a tag over the counter.
Whitetail Rendezvous and Strike Force Energy have joined together. What have they joined together to do? Well, they joined together to help you kick the can. That's right. Strike Force Energy is the fastest growing new energy drink on Amazon today. It's simple. All you do is rip, drip, and sip. That's it. No sugar, no crash, no calories. It gives you the ability to focus and stay in the stand, stay on the hunt all day long without carrying around a can. When I get a sample pack, simply go to strikeforceenergy.com, put in WR free, and you'll get a 4-count sample pack from Strike Force Energy. And going back to our early conversation a couple of weeks ago, I'm going, really? Because I was talking about the Kaibab and the strip and all that. I knew huge iconic bucks come out of there, but I thought that was, you corrected me, that's a draw area. But now you get south of the canyon, and folks, there's, like JP said, there's millions and millions of acres. Now in Colorado, there's millions of acres too. And in Montana, same thing. In Wyoming, same thing. But now we're talking about a class of deer that, Colorado's got 200-inch deer, and so does Wyoming, all these other states. But now you're hunting not in the blizzard. Now you're hunting in shirt sleeves and tennis shoes and shorts if you really want to. I mean, really?
That's a true statement. In August, you definitely, all the guys are pretty much in shorts because it's so hot, 90s to 100. But again, think about this. January, Arizona, 65-degree days. There's been some days, if we're in our southern Arizona camp, it might be 80 degrees out.
It gets cool at night. It gets cool at night.
But yeah, absolutely.
It ain't a blizzard. I ain't worried about chaining up my King Ranch to get out.
Now, there are times in northern Arizona that we will get some snow and stuff, but you know what? No, you know what snow does in Arizona? It lasts 2 days. soon as the sun hits it, it's melted, it's gone. But the key here factor is that you're going to be hunting bucks that are in the rut, in the peak of the rut. And that's an incredible opportunity. And I'll tell you what, I can show you tons of phone scope footage, phone scope pics of just phenomenal bucks. And we got a lot of, pretty high demand. A lot of people contact us about the hunt. You know, we hunt with some pretty great guys. Adam Greentree was here last year, for instance, killed a phenomenal buck with us. Cameron Haynes is going to be coming there this year. Kip Folk going to be here. Bert Soren from Soren X will be here this year. Ryan Meisler, he'll be here as well. And we got a pretty nice clientele. We got a great hunting facility. You know,
tell me a little bit about your setup, because we're not staying in wall tents and we're not staying in nice fifth wheels or whatever. You've actually got a lodge set up.
Yeah, it's really interesting. You know, when we took over this lease and been tied in for many, many years, about 140,000 acres now. And adjoining that, we acquired our own personal property that we built a hunting facility on. So we have a 1,500-yard range that we're working with Leopold on right now to help finish the design of that. And we're going to put long-range shooting schools on there, as well as hunting cabins. So you got these 3-bedroom hunting cabins with bunk beds, and they got 60-inch flat-screen TVs, Wi-Fi, shower, got a camp cook. So every day after a long day of hunting, you can come back, relax. You know, if you choose to have a cocktail, great. You have a nice warm meal, and you got a nice bed to go to, take a shower, and it's just a really phenomenal facility, which is not typical in Arizona. Typical in Arizona, you'll hire a guide. You're going to be staying in wall tents or maybe an RV. You might have to spend some money and get a motel room, in at a restaurant and stuff. And we've got we're really invested into this OTC hunt and what it provides. And it's a great hunting opportunity. I mean, you can walk right off my porch, and it happens every year, and hunt 180, 200-inch mule deer right off the porch. You can be drinking coffee. A lot of times, some of the hunters will literally be set up with their tripods right on the porch of where they slept, having a cup of coffee, glass, and bucks. I mean, it's just phenomenal.
It sounds too good to be true, but you got a reputation. Hey, how did somebody get a hold of you, JP? Where can they reach out to you?
Well, first of all, they can get a hold of us at Big Chino Outfitters on Instagram. They can get a hold of us at bigchino.outfitters.com. They can email me at bigchino.outfitters@gmail.com. They can call me direct, area code 928-925-9395. But absolutely, you know, Instagram is probably about the most easiest way that people reach you. Send us a message on there. We'll get back to you right away. I'll send you all the information you want, pics, references, whatever you need. But yeah, that's just an incredible hunting facility. So let's talk about some other opportunities, though. The OTC hunt, I wanted to get the message out because I want hunters to know they can come here and hunt.
Let's talk about the cost of that before we move on, because some guys, they get scared of hunting the West, and you can still hunt Colorado for gas, food, lodging, license, and everything. You still can do it, an archery hunt for $1,000, you know, sure. DIY, yeah. Public land archery hunt for $1,000, and guys do it every year, and they're successful. I'm not saying 300-inch bulls, but they're still successful. So put it in a framework. A couple of guys said, hey, that sounds great. January, great weather, rut, I'm in. So, you know, what's the minimum a guy could really get into hunting DIY in Arizona?
Well, outside of their expenses, and they got travel expenses and they got their own lodging expenses on the DIY. Typically, they're camping and stuff. So they come and see us. We actually provide scouting packages for them. So our scouting packages vary from $1,500 to $2,500, depending on the hunter, what we can do for them. We even do a drop camp if necessary. But $1,500 will give you a full-fledged scouting package with Flatline map. Download the Flatline app, and we'll have everything pinned for you of accurate, to-date information of where you in Arizona. And we'll pick a unit that's real. I'll give a popular unit. It's very popular. Unit 9, for instance. Unit 9 is a popular unit for elk and mule deer. It borders the Grand Canyon National Park on one end. It's got the Navajo Nation on one end. It's got the Hualapai on the other end. The Havasupai. There's some great bucks that come off of there during the rut. And so we'll provide you great hunting opportunities there and hunting great big mule deer bucks there. Unit 9, Unit 10, Unit 8, Unit 7, all the areas that we spend multiple days in throughout the year. We have trail cameras running. We have a very, very, very good sense of where these deer are at. And I'll give you an example. So I had a guy come and do it yourself last year. Never been to Arizona before. Shot a 107-inch Coues deer, man. Yeah, that's big with his bow. Phenomenal. We just posted on Instagram yesterday. You can take a look at this buck in velvet. Phenomenal buck. We've had guys come and shoot 170, 180-inch mule deer on do-it-yourself stuff. You know, we provide them accurate information. Again, it's do-it-yourself, so you can kind of tailor the cost to meet you. I've had guys come here with drop camps. We set up a wall tent. We stock it with water, and we put a stove in there, and we bring you a barbecue and some cots, and you bring your bedroll, and we give you the scouting package. Again, we try to tailor the hunts to meet your need, or you can go the full-fledged hunt. You might spend up $8,500 to $10,000, depending how many days you come. You know, on average, you know, our average hunts for a 7-day hunt in our lodge, public land, you're looking at about $5,000. If you're going to go on the private land, you're looking at $7,000, $7,500. If you draw an elk tag and you want to come hunt on our private, it can be in the upwards up to $10,000. But we will tailor the hunt to meet your needs. Again, if you're going to pay for public land access or private land access, private land obviously is going to have more money because we have ranch leases, and we got to pay those ranch leases and include our landowners as our partners in there, which we pay, which is common in the West, as everybody understands.
Yeah, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no surprise there.
Hunts to meet their needs. I mean, they come with me with a budget. I'll put it together. We do a lot of 2-on-1s to help cut the costs down. So people just got to give us a call, and we can discuss what their options are, try to meet their budget. They got to be realistic about what their budget is. Again, if they're do-it-yourselfers, I think it's a phenomenal opportunity. They can come here and hunt some great, great country that we hunt, because we can't cover every piece of country. And we're not going to be in competition with our do-it-yourselfers. We put them in areas that we don't hunt, proven successful. They have great mule deer bucks, great elk in it, whatever it is that they're looking for on a do-it-yourself.
Let's talk about where these deer live, because I remember I hunted in Unit 2 the first time I hunted there, and along the creek bottoms and stuff, they were in cedars and stuff. And I'm going, oh, this isn't black timber or dark timber. And it's a little bit of a shock. All of a sudden, you're kind of in a desert-like environment. In some areas, other areas, you're not.
Well, so here in Arizona, up in northern Arizona, okay, there's some similarities in New Mexico. It's what they call a chaparral. Pinyon juniper, okay, but most of the country is. So you got a lot of scrub oak, you got a lot of pinyon juniper, but you got a lot of grasslands, and there's been a really big push in northern Arizona for ranching communities that they take out a bunch of those juniper areas so they can grow grass. And of course, the mule deer and all the wildlife, they benefit from that habitat. So there's a lot of great glassing opportunities. Definitely, it's not big, thick, dark timber like you'll see like New Mexico and even the eastern part of Arizona. You got that really big alpine juniper that's really, really, really thick. It's not like that here in Arizona. There's a lot of glassing opportunities where you can jump on a knob with great optics on a tripod and spotting scopes and be able to glass and make a spot and stalk on your animals, but you'll see deer. I mean, it's not so thick that you can't. And again, our deer are resident deer too. Remember, they're fair weathered animals here in Arizona. You think about Arizona, you think about the warmth, and everybody's in flip-flops and shorts. Well, if our deer could wear flip-flops, they would. Okay? And I say that really. They don't migrate.
That's great.
They reside where they reside year-round. The only thing they move for is water. If we got a droughty year, they're going to move to where the water is. And just regular season years where we got great water, they just stay right where they're at. And they literally do. And like this year, we have phenomenal water. This is one of the best years in my entire time of outfitting in over 30 years. We have some of one of the best, wettest winters we've ever had. And it's still, in the spring, we've got a lot of moisture. So this year's horn growth in Arizona is indicative to how much moisture we got. Is going to be great. And
it's going to be crazy.
So excited.
But I've heard, I haven't hunted there, but I've heard when you have a lot of water, I know some places that I've hunted myself, when there's a lot of water, then it disperses the animals a lot more. They're not coming into that stock tank in that section.
That is
land.
a true statement. That's a true statement. So here's where the benefit is when you hunt with somebody who's been doing it for 30 plus years and grew up here. My granddad cowboyed this. My dad was involved in the ranching and worked on some of these ranches when he was a kid. I grew up hunting this country. I hunted this stuff before it was droughty times. So I understand, and we understand where these deer go and understand their habitat. On top of the fact that we're a full-time outfitter. When I say a full-time outfitter, we're in the field year-round. I mean, I just had guys out. My guys were out shedhorn hunting, found like 160, picked up 160 horns in like 2 weeks. Point is, we're in the field all the time. We have a good understanding of where these deer are at. And because of that, we're not no weekend warrior outfitters. We're out there all the time, so we know where those deer are at. And we understand what the disbursement's going to be, places they're going to go. You got to think outside the bubble. There's been a generation here of folks that grew up during that drought time. There was a 20-year drought in Arizona where the droughting was really tough, and a lot of those animals were definitely isolated to those areas. Now they're dispersed back out. So you've got to open up your avenues. You got to think outside the box. And that's been proven to be very successful for us. Last year was a great example. A phenomenal rain last fall. And we had some incredible success. Able to go to places that deer and elk were inhabiting where most people didn't go or didn't think about because they'd never ventured that deep into it because they never had to. They can just go around that water tank and hunt within a mile of that water tank and be able to find what they found. When you have that water that's dispersed, those deer and elk are going to be dispersed further. You got to go out a little further and search. But that's where good optics comes in. That's where understanding the terrain, understanding the habitat, and what deer and elk are going to do to be able to find.
Now, we're not hunting the Mongolian Rim area. So you talk about glassing. How do I glass through that pinyon juniper?
Well, you got to understand in this country, there's just a lot of elevations. It's not flat. So you'll jump. There's knobs all over the place. You just jump up on a knob. You can see for miles, especially with today's optics on a tripod. That's exactly what we do. We have so many glassing locations, and do-it-yourselfers the same. They'll be able to climb up on the knob with good optics and be able to glass every piece of country that they can certainly glass. I mean, it's actually very, very, very conducive. I think even the Mongolian Rim is a little bit more difficult at times in some spots because of the plateaus here. We have knobs, rolling knobs and hills all over the place in this country in northern Arizona. Absolutely. The only place that you start to struggle at, there could be places in Unit 9, for instance, because that is a great big plateau. But even then, understanding the terrain, understanding the country, knowing where the glassing points are, absolutely, we set up our hunters phenomenal. That is just not an issue for us whatsoever.
And that's one thing, folks, especially if you listen to this and live in I'm just going to say eastern Mississippi. If you come out west, no matter where you come, you've got to, one, invest in good optics. One, your boots have got to be the best that you can get, and your optics are going to be the best you can get. Then spend your money on your bow or in the arrows and the broadheads. But that's my 2 cents, because you have to have these optics because you're covering thousands of acres. Is that a true statement, JP?
That is a true statement. It's funny you said that because before my sons, when they were little boys, I gave them my hand-me-down Swarovski optics before they ever got a rifle or a bow. So they learned on a tripod how to glass at the age of 4, 5, 6 years old. Before they were even shooting guns, they were glassing with optics. I taught them how to glass, taught them how to grid, taught them how to use optics. So absolutely, you need to be more invested in your optics if you're going to come hunt the West, especially in Arizona, and your boots. And I love that you said that because people just don't understand this. This stuff is rocky, it's granite, there's cinder, it just tears your feet up. Have good broken pair of boots and great optics. That's more important. There's no doubt about it. You got to find the animal. You got to get to them. You got to find them before you can hunt them, right?
Yeah, before you can put an arrow in them.
Absolutely.
And if we're talking mostly archery hunting here, we haven't even got into JP. I kind of stopped them from going into the other species and everything. But the biggest thing is, let's just recap this first little section. JP, tell them about the secret, and then we talked about the water, and we talked about the opportunity, the over-the-counter opportunity. So just recap that one more time.
So again, in Arizona, you can come and buy an over-the-counter mule deer tag or Coues deer tag, and that tag's good for the calendar year. Kill one deer a year, but you can come hunt deer with your bow, and you can hunt them in velvet, or you can hunt them during the rut. Pre-rut, full rut, post-rut. You can hunt them when it's colder than heck back east in the Midwest. Be here in Arizona in December, January when it's 60, 70 degrees and hunting deer in the rut. No finer place to be. Caliber bucks are going to be on average around 170, I would say, is your average top end. Some guys shoot lesser bucks, 150. Some guys shoot over 200 inches. Every year you'll see that's happening. But on average, I tell you to be expecting about a 170 caliber deer to hunt. That's what our goal is for our hunters, and that's what we do. You come out, you can buy that tag over the counter, Walmart, Sportsman's Warehouse, Cabela's, wherever they sell hunting licenses. You buy a hunting license, it's $160. You buy over-the-counter deer tags, $300, and you're here. And we can provide you all sorts of hunting opportunities from do-it-yourselfers all the way to fully guided, outfitted hunts on private land. Not a problem. We will tailor your hunt to meet your needs and your budget. Just get a hold of us and let us know how we can help you.
So, folks, I hope you heard that, and then I'll just underscore optics. You have to have the best optics you can afford. If it's between buying a new Matthews bow and Leica, Swarovski, Leopold, good quality optics, you're going to spend over $1,000 for a spotting scope or set of 10 by 55s, because you're going to set up on a tripod and you're going to put your butt down in a chair, on the ground, whatever, and you're going to sit there until you find what you're looking for. And if you don't find them, then you're going to go someplace else until you find them, because you can't cover the ground. It's impossible. Is that a true statement?
That's a true statement. And I want to reach out to them about the optics. Yes, there's so many great optic opportunities out there. What I would tell you is find something that most money that you can afford. I know that we're really big on Leopold because Leopold has just come out with an incredible new line, and their optics are just phenomenal. So again, if somebody's looking for a very affordable price, take a look at the Leopold optics. Their new 1556s or 1250s and their spotting scope, the Centauriums, are phenomenal. And we spend a lot of time in optics, behind optics. We're really excited about what Leopold is doing. But if it's Swarovski is your brand, or Zeiss is your brand, or Leica is your brand, or Vortex, that's fine too. But just get what is best affordable for you. But make sure if you're going to come out here that you learn how to use them and you understand that tripods are critical.
Yeah, you can't handhold them. And then JP, if you picked it up, you pick it apart by a grid. And you're looking for antler glint. You're looking for a flick of ear. You're looking for a patch of white where it doesn't belong. I mean, that's what you're looking for. You're not looking for deer. You're looking for pieces of deer. And then it takes skill over the years, but all of a sudden, you can look at a bush and there's no deer there. Then all of a sudden, there's a deer there. He's bedded down, and it's magic. And I've been there and I've done it. I'm going, he was there all the time, and I spent 5 hours trying to find this deer.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you're 100%.
You're 100% correct. And, another thing I just want to tell people, it's just imperative to be in the best shape as you can be. Shoot your bow. I mean, just critical. Shoot your bow. Get in good shape, because this stuff is just not easy. And the better shape you are and the more muscle memory and accurate you are with your bow, it just increases your opportunities. There's just no doubt about it.
Whitetail Rendezvous is pleased to announce a partnership with GoHunt.com. Who's GoHunt.com? Well, if you're a DIY hunter, you need the information at GoHunt.com/insider. Why? Because it provides 4,200 profiles, every unit, every species, and every season. Furthermore, they give in-depth analysis, interactive maps, unit access, and seasonal trends. Draw odds are very important, and they give you the most accurate information in the business. All this is available when you go to GoHunt.com/insider. Make sure you use promo code WR when you join Insider. You'll get a $50 gift card for GoHunt.com Gear Shop. All in all, if you're hunting out west in 2018, GoHunt.com Insider is where you need to be to get all the research information. When you use promo code WR, Whitetail Rendezvous receives a small commission from GoHunt.com.
So let's go into the second half of the show and talk about the other opportunities that you wanted to bring up, and I kind of stopped us off.
Yeah, I appreciate that very much. One of the things that I think people need to understand is Arizona's pretty much a draw state for most what everybody wants to come hunt, and most everybody wants to hunt elk, for instance. And so in theory, everybody's been told it takes 20 plus years and a lifetime to draw an elk tag, right? Well, here's what I can tell you. A fact of the matter is this, is that there's a lot of hunting opportunities out there in Arizona that you can actually draw an elk tag. And what's interesting, just a couple of weeks ago, there was some leftover permits because not every unit gave out all their tags. So there was like 15 leftover permits. And I looked at some of those permits. There was a couple of bull tags, believe it or not. So by Arizona standards, some people think, well, that's not such a great unit, but think about this. Anywhere in Arizona, you can come here and hunt elk and shoot 300-inch caliber deer, or 300 deer. I wish 300-inch caliber deer. 300-inch caliber elk. You can kill a bull 300 inches, and people are paying big money to go to Colorado, Montana, and that's what they're typically going to kill. But there's some hunts out there that you could literally draw as a non-resident every other year, every couple of years. One of them is called a limited opportunity hunt. There's some limited opportunity areas in Arizona. We actually live right in the heart of one of the best ones, and that's what we call the block unit. There's like 17, 18, 19, 20. It's on the southern border of Unit 10, which is a legendary area for big bulls, and it's on the western border of Unit 8, and that's right in the middle of where our ranch lease is. And we get guys that draw. I mean, this year I had Riza from Leopold, never, ever applied, ever. She drew a tag this year, first time she ever applied. And that typically happens, but it takes about 2 or 3 bonus points. You can draw that permit in Arizona, and you can be hunting elk. So I talked to these guys that have been waiting 20 years. Tell me the story. 20 years. I'm 22 years. I'm still waiting for my elk tag. Think about this. They might have been able to have been here already 10 or 11 times if they would have done it that way. And the caliber of bulls, hey, on average, we're killing 330, 340 caliber bulls on that hunt. Some people.
No, is this DIY or is this private land?
Well, there's public land and private land. Okay. There's some guys that come here and have killed 400-inch bulls on that hunt. So I tell people, hey, talk to us about the opportunities here. I can educate you to get yourself an elk tag, number one, in your hands. You can DIY it in public lands. You can come and hunt the public land and private land with us. But I know this much, we're 100% success on our harvest. Last year with 10 hunters, all 10 killed bulls. 335 was our average last year.
And that's archery.
Drought year.
That's archery, right?
No, that's actually a late season rifle hunt that's 5 weeks long.
Okay.
That hunt is 5 weeks long. You can hunt with your bow if you want. The archery hunt during the rut, very difficult anywhere to get in Arizona. I mean, that is the one tag that, yes, the stigma of it may take you 5, 10, 15 years to draw a tag. But you might go to a lesser unit. Everybody's trying to draw the Unit 9 tag, the Unit 10 tag, Unit 1, the 3A3Cs. How about some of these other units, 4A, 4B, 22? You still go over there and shoot a 300-inch bull to 350 bull. And you don't have to wait 20 years to draw that tag. So if they contact us, they tell us what their expectation is.
Now, would you tell somebody just what you're saying now? You're sharing it, to thousands and thousands of people. But if somebody called, if they said, hey, I don't want to wait 10 years. I can't afford $5,000 or $10,000. How can you help me get an archery tag with the fewest point?
Here's what I tell people to do. First of all, we have no problem sharing information. Knowledge is power if you share it. So that's our goal. That's what we want to do. I tell people to get involved and sign up with Go Hunt. They can look at their statistics and their odds. And then we take their bonus points, what they have, and we take a look at what their plan is. And together with using all the different resources that are out there, we can come up with the best possible plan to get them the tag for the type of hunt that they want to get. And they got to be realistic, because you can go on Go Hunt and look at the hunting odds. You can type in that you have 5 bonus points, and they can give you the spit out exactly where your best opportunities are to draw the tag. You can put in you want to hunt archery, you can hunt during the rut, or if you're a late season guy. But again, think about this. Is it worth waiting 20 years for a tag when most people's goal is to shoot a 350 bull, when you could have come out here to Arizona and hunted 7, 10 times and probably had that opportunity, that caliber of bull? Because those bulls live and exist in Arizona. I believe there's not a unit in Arizona that doesn't hold elk that a guy couldn't come here and shoot a 350 bull if he put his time and effort in.
That's a pretty bold statement, but you live there and I don't, because I know in Colorado that there probably isn't a unit in Colorado that you couldn't. You mentioned Brady Miller. He does it every year. He comes in and kills 180 mule deer, and Brady works for Go Hunt guys, and he does it every single year in 180 class in the areas that people wouldn't put in. And he comes and figures it out. He lives out in Nevada, and he figures it out. So I'm just trying to support the information that JP's sharing and the information out there. Do your research. And 180 class deer is a great deer. Are you going to shoot 200 in every single unit in Colorado? Maybe, but there's 180s. I know there are.
Well, it's the same thing. I mean, the magic number everybody seems to be stuck on is 400. But I'm just saying to you is you can look statistically, you can pay attention, especially with today's social media. People are shooting 340, 350 bulls in every unit in the state for elk. So the opportunity is there. I mean, it just is. I mean, this limited opportunity, it wasn't even supposed to be elk here. The first year that they opened it, they killed like 7 bulls over 400 inches.
Isn't that something?
That's crazy. And so I'm just saying it's phenomenal. And we're excited about this year's elk season in Arizona, especially
because of the water. Yeah. It's just,
with all the water and the rain, it's just going to be.
Their growth is going to be because they get the protein when they're growing the horns, and away you go. So let's talk about other opportunities. I don't know what your time frame is here. Do you have 20 more minutes or 10 more minutes?
I got a little bit more time. I'm more than happy to share with you guys. Again, remember the Arizona's a draw opportunity. Over-the-counter mule deer hunting we talked about. Drawing for elk isn't so difficult. Antelope tags are very difficult to draw. You just got to put your time in. But I know guys that will apply and just get hit on that lottery, and they don't have 2 or 3 bonus points and draw antelope tags. But again, same thing with antelope. You don't have to draw the Unit 10 tag. You don't have to draw the 19A tag or the 19B tag. There's great hunting opportunities anywhere in the state. Just draw yourself an antelope tag. You go to 21, you go up the Strip. Very few people like to go hunt antelope in the Strip. There's great bucks in all that country. And so I think people just need to do the research. And again, just take a look at what the opportunities are out there. There's some other great opportunities out here. You can buy over-the-counter mountain lion tags. You can buy over-the-counter, black bear tags, and come hunt them. When you come hunt during the archery mule deer hunts in January, if you can buy yourself a javelina tag and hunt javelina, everybody knows that God put javelina on the earth for bow hunters. I mean, that's really why they exist. So yeah, I mean, there's just all sorts of great hunting opportunities. Again, we just want to get that information out and let people understand that they can come to Arizona and they don't have to wait 20 years and, take advantage of it. Again, I think it's the most hidden secret in the West. I really do. And we want people to know it. We want people to come out and have those opportunities. Whether they book with us is irrelevant. Come and hunt the opportunities in Arizona. And you don't have to hunt northern Arizona. Southern Arizona is phenomenal. And that's where most of the mule deer are. But think about this. You talk about Sonora and mule deer. Well, Sonora border right there just south of Tucson, all that country's got some giant mule deer in it too as well. And we do host a camp down there tied in with Arizona Trophy Outfitters, and we work together with them, and we put hunters in southern Arizona as well that they want to chase Coues deer and see if they can't lay their eyes on one of those big Sonoran bucks. So absolutely.
And that's really desert because you got those big cactus, saguaro cactus. Is that how you say it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, saguaro cactus, cholla. But if you're hunting January in the desert, that's where it's about 80 degrees down there, too.
It's not 100.
Yeah, it's not 100, but again, our deer in the rut in January. When Arizona, northern Arizona and southern Arizona, the deer are rutting, so great opportunities out there for sure.
Hey, folks. Bruce Hutchin, host of Whitetail Rendezvous. Hey, I'm pleased to announce that Buckwild Coffee is continuing their sponsorship for 2019. What's so special about Buckwild Coffee? Well, a gazillion people every day go to Starbucks and buy coffee. Well, I'll ship it to your house. Yes, I'll ship light, medium, or dark roast, ground, or bean, right to your house. It's real simple. Just go to whitetailrendezvous.com/shop, pick out what roast you want, and we'll ship it out. Take a look at Buckwild Coffee, the finest roast in the West. Well, finest roast around the campfire, finest roast around your kitchen table. It's just flat out the finest roast you can get today. Order some at whitetailrendezvous.com/shop.
Now for DIY, and then we'll kind of wrap this up. Let's talk about DIY techniques. They don't have a guide. Is it still spot and stalk, or I'm setting up on water and I'm waiting to come in, or am I calling? What am I doing?
All of the above. First of all, most DIY guys like to spot and stalk. That's been my experience with them. If they don't have time to scout and they buy a scouting package, we darn sure will tell them and show them on trail cameras what deer are coming in the water, and they can set up a blind and shoot one out of a blind if they wanted to, if that's how they wanted to hunt. Definitely, you brought up a really good point. Them deer, our Arizona deer do not get called a lot. So ear bleating really, really works here. That's a great hunting opportunity. And if guys are trying to figure out how to get some deer to come to them, that deer bleat, really, really great hunting opportunity for people. You hit a deer bleat, you'd be surprised those deer just come running. It's really, really fun to do. But all of the above, spot and stalk is the most common way. And again, good optics, good shape. You can shoot your bow and make your moves, and understanding, just always got to pay attention to that wind and know what the wind's doing. It's the most common way that people get busted is just that wind. And Arizona winds, because of the thermals, and we have predominant winds out of the southwest, things change. So you got to pay attention to that wind, and I always look at all these different weather apps. And during the day, you can actually look at the direction of the wind. So you might be doing this in the morning, but the afternoon, it might be coming from somewhere different. So you got to pay attention to that. For sure. But again, the scouting packages really are helpful because I can tell you where the deer are watering and when they're watering there.
And then the Southwest thermals are, you have to be cognizant of the thermals. Their sinks, it's cold there in the morning, then it heats up, then it's going to rise, and the deer are better, where they can see and all that stuff. So it doesn't change. If you're hunting whitetails, the deer are doing the same thing. They need food, they need water, and they need cover. They need the same thing. And so you have to sort it out. It's just a different environment.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, again, those are the hunting opportunities that we have, and, everything, all of the above. I just hope that we can get the information out, let people know to come out here and give it a shot, because I'll tell you right now, I have not talked to one person that hasn't come out on that OTC hunt that said, I cannot wait to come back and do it again. I mean, just a great place to be in January. Nobody even realizes that in January, people are sitting there freezing and thinking, man, wish I was out hunting. And here in Arizona, we're just pounding it, grinding it all the way to the end of the month. It's just phenomenal.
Well, you got an invite from Big Chino. So tell the folks one more time how to get a hold of you, just to make the call and say, hey, I've got about $2,500 to spend and I want to come, and I got a couple of buddies to come. 4 of us are going to jump in the trucks and roll. How do they get a hold of you?
First of all, call me direct at area code 928-925-9395. You can email me at bigchino@gmail.com, or get on Instagram and look at our Instagram, become a follower there, and just private message us, and we will, we darn sure can make that happen. Not a problem at all.
This has been fun, and Big Chino, I look forward to the day I show up and drive into your driveway. And with that, thanks for being a guest, and you're just a wealth of knowledge, and I really appreciate you taking your time and sharing it with people, because I guarantee people are going to say, I didn't know that.
First of all, we're humbled, and we thank you for the opportunity. And again, if we can give you any information or any hunters any information to help them come out and enjoy the West, and especially in Arizona, get rid of that stigma that you got to wait 20 years to come hunting here. I mean, take advantage of those opportunities while they're there. You just never know what's going to happen. If there's ever going to be change in game laws, or if they ever make this a drop. I mean, 170-inch mule deer on average, you can expect if you put your time and effort in. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, to be honest with you.
And with that, we're going to close this segment of Whitetail Rendezvous.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous, where you can listen and learn from the experts so you can be more successful on your next hunt. Until next time, listen, learn, and succeed.